Yep. All the things. All of the things. Thank you.
And we are live. Welcome to NBA Live Before Lock. It is Wednesday, May 15th. I am Josh Engleman. I am joined by Eric Lindquist, and we are brought to you by Sleeper. 2 games today. We have the remains of the Cleveland Cavaliers taking on the Boston Celtics in a game that they should just be allowed to cancel. And then we have OKC Dallas Game 5, the one that everyone actually wants to watch. I wish they were in a different order so we could just put Cleveland and Boston to bed at late night times when no one gives a shit. But unfortunately, that's not where we're at. And we can't really talk about Cleveland for the next 25 minutes until we get their starting lineup. Hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell so you know when everything goes live. Follow us both on Twitter. And for anybody wondering if I'm going to make hand gestures during this show like we did on the strategy show, evidently it doesn't work in this same situation. So you're going to have to hold off till tomorrow. Eric, what's up?
You might just flick me off but other than that, no gesturing, no need because not in StreamYard. I'm gonna have to try that out on my next video because I don't know, that seems like fun. I didn't know that was even a thing.
Trust me, man, neither did I, because it did it and I was like, what did I do to make this happen?
Yeah,
because the first one I had no idea what was going on.
So when you did it just automatically queue and you were just watching it happen live?
Yeah, like I have the StreamYard screen on the right side of my monitor, and I'm looking down in the center, and I think it was the double thumbs up. And all of a sudden I look to my right because it's not on my actual screen. It was only on the display. Like I didn't see it. But when I saw what was being broadcast, it was just like a laser light show. So I did all of them like a couple times throughout the show because I couldn't help myself. It was fun.
Just starting EDM like at 10 a.m. your time.
This is one. This is one. This is one. The Heart is one. I forget. There's one more. I can't remember it. It was fun.
That's pretty cool. I'm definitely gonna have to take advantage of that. I gotta just use the StreamYard. That would actually, there's no way to do the Eric Lindquist, the Lindy's halftime show with the strobe light to have it pop up in the middle of the stream because that's not on playback. Ugh, that would be awesome.
You could funnel it actually, probably through it, but that's not really what we're looking for.
That was basically you just saying, please don't ever do that halftime show.
Well, no, you would have to like put it into one thing and then use a virtual camera to get it to play. It's not. I mean, that's a lot of work for a very small payoff.
So go with the beat drop.
9 minutes ago, let's just call it 5:59. Right before we were about to go live, the news comes out. Caris LeVert is not going through his pregame warmups at the usual time. We'll update. We got the report earlier today. Donovan Mitchell is unlikely to play. We've gotten no reports on Jared Allen. It's going to be hilarious when he plays. But as of right now, it is looking like all 3 of those dudes are going to be out. For those that aren't aware, Caris LeVert is currently projecting 89% ownership. I have 100%, obviously. I don't think that's going to be all that shocking. So anything that we're saying about Cleveland is completely up in the air. We're going to go from Sam Merrill being unowned to Sam Merrill being 80% owned, I assume. There's a trickle-down effect to your George Niangs. Craig Porter Jr. is also doubtful, which in a weird way may matter. I don't think they would want to play him, but still. It's about to get really weird on the Cleveland side. Boston, OKC, Dallas. Seems easy enough to talk about those guys. But for right now, anything that we have to say about Cleveland, other than like if you just want to say you like Darius Garland or Evan Mobley, who probably going to look good regardless, we're kind of just putting Cleveland on ice until we get a lineup.
Yeah, Cleveland put themselves on ice. I talked about it a little bit last night on the Lindy Show. We've been ahead of the curve when it comes to news here on this program. Yesterday, Mike Conley. Today, I took all 3 out. I built everything with all 3 out. Cleveland, the worst case scenario for them is one of them further injures themselves, specifically Donovan Mitchell, who, if they are going to have to move him in the offseason or try to, if Donovan Mitchell wants to leave, which it seems as though that's something that's definitely on the table as well, you can't have him hurt. He's played too well the 3 games he appeared in this series, and now in your 15.5-point dogs, you basically have no hope. Jared Allen, this rib contusion, it was kind of the beginning of the end for them. And then Caris LeVert, you really don't need to worry about him so much as far as like, oh, what's his value? But there's really no point in trying to further your season here at this point in time by playing him 38 minutes, 36 minutes, kind of whatever you would be looking at from last time. So yeah, if he plays, I'll have 100%. I'm with you there, but I've had him out the entire day. I think Sam Merrill is going to be the guy that we talk about a lot. And then Isaac Okoro too. I think that he's probably going to be somebody that I have a hefty amount of, running my 40 lineups here again. And he is somebody that I'm planning on having a pretty large overweight stance to as well. This game gets wonky. We'll have some George Niang, some Marcus Morris, but for all intents and purposes, Bickerstaff and this Cleveland team is not too worried. They're already half the what is it? Halfway to Cabo. Yeah, that's kind of the way to think about it.
That's what you're going with? Halfway to Cabo?
I was trying to think like 1 foot in the door, 1 foot out, and then my brain couldn't figure out the analogy, and then I just fucked it up. So sorry.
When I hear Cabo, I only think of Laguna Beach.
Oh. Now I think of Charles Barkley in Galveston, Texas, and that dirty water.
Nah, I think about Kristen dancing on the bar.
Oh, that's fun. Yeah, that's very true.
I'm not going to say what Steven calls her, but it's not a nice word.
No, it's a little rude, actually.
I'm trying to hand out minutes right now, and I'm running out of places to put them.
I think you just put Merrill in for like 30, right? Is that
I did. I immediately gave him 30, but I still have 10 left over. I think you give Okoro like 30 to 32. It's all really about how long can they stay in the games.
Well, it's really about, for me, what they look like relative to Oklahoma City value, because I am of the mind that we are going to see Aaron Wiggins start tonight, and we're not going to see Giddey start tonight. There was a report. It was Winky, the guy from Underdog. He had a report saying that at shoot around, there was Aaron Wiggins wearing the starter's jersey. I don't know if that's a thing or not. Apparently, NAW yesterday, I didn't even see that part of it, but NAW had a starter's jersey on yesterday. That would have been a nice thing to bring up on the show if I had seen that, but I had a different person that was going back and forth with that was helpful about figuring out exactly what I was going to do with that. But
if it helps, I would ignore yesterday's, and I think it's more important today. Yesterday's, it was, we don't know if Mike Conley's not going through shoot around. So someone has to be the starter. Right. They don't just play 5-on-4. Here,
exactly.
Completely different. Because if Giddey's not wearing it, that is a tell. It's not like Giddey is questionable and not going through shoot around.
That's a really good point. And I mean, I didn't see it on yesterday. It's something that I just saw after the fact that, you know, he had the starter's jersey on because, well, I saw the Winky thing where he posted the thing. He does the Underdog tweet that everybody gets where it's like the 10 things from the NBA. That's always fun. I like that read, but I saw that he posted the thing about the starter's jersey today. And so just kind of went down the rabbit hole with that. And it would appear to me that Aaron Wiggins, again, I'm not as confident as yesterday because I had a better source, I feel like, and this is just kind of speculation. I think Aaron Wiggins starts for what it's worth, but I don't know if that's really at his price point, something that's all that actionable. If we get Sam Merrill opened up here, where I assume Okoro starts, Darius Garland, Okoro, Struce, Mobley, and if Jared Allen sits here, I think Dean Wade actually has a chance to start. Probably ends up being that fifth starter, but
I could see them going Merrill and just letting it sail. I just don't know how many minutes Wade could play. But either way, I think both of if Wade plays, that's interesting in terms of thinking about getting to Wade, or because now he has power forward eligibility, so they opened him up a little bit. I think you're probably playing them regardless. At least I think you have to play Merrill regardless.
Correct. 100%.
At 32 minutes, I have Merrill as my number one play on the slate.
And that is what he should be. I've had him out. I have 100. Literally. So I was not saying 100% in the way that kids say that, where it's like, oh, 100%. I literally meant I have 100%.
Yeah, I assume he will be at the tippy top. And even if he doesn't start and you're projecting him for like 20, let's just say it's 24 minutes. I think that's probably still too low just because there's nowhere else to put them. Even in that time, he's a high-end point per dollar option. Oh God, it's all ridiculous. Let's talk pay-ups for a little bit. We're going to open up the structure of the show a little bit. Luka 11-1, SGA 10-1, Tatum 9,700. Heading into this show, when I had 100% Levert. I also had 0% of Luka Doncic. I'm guessing I start to get a little bit more now just because Sam Merrill being 3,200, it unlocks a guy that I don't think is a great play today just by default. What do you like here at the top? Because to me, it really is Tatum. The ownership looks right to me. Tatum, then SGA, then Luka.
Yeah, I think it's very similar to what we've been talking about constantly, where if you get the piece unlocked, I went up to the top with Jokic. Obviously, that worked out very, very nicely yesterday. I think I'm less as like, oh, this is an automatic slam dunk, the same way that I felt like it was with Jokic yesterday with Luka today. But he's still projected 3 fantasy points higher at stochastic here than SGA. Think that is totally warranted, that if you want to get to the highest raw point scorer here for $1,000, it's not that unattainable here on today's slate. Tatum obviously is very, very popular. There is blowout risk, but I do not care. I don't know necessarily how to factor it in, but because Luke is not pulling the ownership, it's easy for me to at least tilt the scales a little bit towards him. I currently have 32% of him. SGA currently sitting right around that field, 44%. And then Jason Tatum, I'm a little bit under, but I think that's just going to do some push and pull here as we get information from Cleveland before tip there. I am going to be building out. Oh, here it comes. It's all going to start rolling in here.
Yes, it is. Karis LeVert out. Jarrett Allen out. Craig Porter out. No official word on Donovan Mitchell yet.
It's weird. That's really weird.
It's early,
I suppose. There it is. All right. We both just stopped talking because we just.
Did your phone buzz?
Yeah, I had. Yeah. Well, I felt my watch go first, and then I took it off because I was like, all right, I can't have that keep going while I'm on the show. That is incredible.
So there we go. We're still 15 minutes out from probably 15 minutes out from being able to do anything with that, other than now just talking about specifically what the Cavs look like. Do you want to just...
Where does this spread finish?
Holy shit.
It opened at 15.5. It was still at 15.5. I was going to say at the beginning of this program that everybody should invest in some 15.5 and some 8.5. I ended up actually putting a small play on the first half line because I was like,
probably 16.5. I
don't think any higher. I could see 17 being pushed in
I think the line is already accounting for Mitchell not playing. The whole 99% of it is already in there. Gotcha. I think the line is already fully accounting for Jarrett Allen being out. And I don't think that Karis LeVert can possibly be worth 1.5 points or he make $30 million a year.
It's fair. Dean Wade holding down the fort, my dude.
Yeah. Like it's already so high that like when you take away more dudes, you're not taking away enough value.
That's fair. I just looking through my notes here. Game 1, 13.5. Game 2, 14.5. They lost outright. Bounces around. Boston finishes, let's see, 8.5, 7.5, 8.5. And then, 15.5 opening number here for game 5. Wild.
By the way, we didn't talk about it. I saw it on the show last night. Did you see how owned Alec Burks ended up again?
Oh, yeah, who's like 37% or some shit. I told you. It's Looney Tunes. It's just absolute Looney Tunes. At least I didn't have 0 this time around because I felt like there was... I assumed there was some blowout risk, and sure enough, there actually was. Even though the spread didn't lead you to see any of it. It's more of like, you watch game 3, game 4, it's like, oh, well, Alec Burks is probably going to show out on the floor at some point. And it was a little tilting to be underweight for a third straight slate with Alec Burks, but yet... he ended
Dean
up in
Wade
a
will
lineups,
start.
so it was fine. Yeah, I had a feeling. I don't think it changes his minutes in a drastic way, but I felt like there was a really good chance based on how he played that they would just go to him against Al Horford. They can do a little bit more against Luke Cornett with a smaller lineup. They can go to some Tristan Thompson, as the 5 there. I think that's just fine. I guess, is it going to be like a 24-24 Well, no, Evan Mobley can play some 5 there for him and do the thing. But Dean Wade, he's been playing well enough there that there was a pretty good chance he was going to be out there for maybe 22, 23 minutes. But I can't really do anything with him.
Negative 36% sim player ROI for Burks yesterday.
Yeah, I had a feeling it would just be apocalyptic. And of course, automatic 26.5. I couldn't believe it. Yep. It was just inevitable. But thank God Nikhil Alexander-Walker and Jokic smashed. As long as that happened, I knew I was going to have a really good night. So whatever.
You know who else smashed yesterday that we haven't talked about? Tom fucking Kennedy, man. Holy hell.
Oh my God.
100K in first.
Hey.
And then second twice, along with Eddie in second as well.
He sent me a note this morning saying that he was watching and that he ended up boosting it, which made me feel nice. I didn't want to say anything about it, but that was really nice to hear that your boss man trusted me with the information. I was pretty positive about it because, you know, again, if you have it's a good thing to be nice to people on Twitter. I know that that's not the consensus for most people, but I do my best to be nice. And when people are really, really good and gracious with information, you always make sure that you say thank you.
Yeah, so Tom finished first, had two other lineups tie for second, and finished eighth.
Unbelievable.
He brought in like
so that's like
150K.
140K that he brought in, like 137K, 138K on the tournament. That is insanity.
Let's also not forget that he shipped Showdown like 3 days ago for a clean 100K. Oh, by the way, Steve Buzzard did it too this week.
So we're working for the right people.
The promo code is Edwards, everybody. NBA Sims Max Package $19.99. I'm looking at it right now with the boss of this company in first, second, and eighth yesterday. He's up like $250,000 over the past couple days using this tool. I know that he uses this tool. You guys should use it too. Get our projections, ownership, boom bust, lineup generator, contest generator, late swap, post contest, Discord, all of it. Every single thing we have, you get it on the NBA side, $19.99. It's normally $60 a week. You get it for a third of that price. There's absolutely no reason to not check it out. It works for Showdown as well, so it's not even something like it's going to end today because it might be the last 2 games late. No, it'll be here regardless all the way through Showdowns. So come join us, guys. These guys know what they're doing. Okay. Yeah, we're all over the map. We're throwing the script out. You walked me clean into that Edwards promo. It was perfect.
I'm great like that. Again, we just continue to build the rapport. We continue to add on to things. And I love shows where we don't have to go by the script, where it doesn't have to be freaking exotic play this and Amber Heard shitting on you that. And like, it's just better now. Same Celtics starting lineup. That isn't surprising.
All right, Chris Williams, thank you for gifting 5 subs. Darren Unger, what 4 Cavs on FanDuel if no Levert? Thanks.
I can tell you that. I just was trying to get some FanDuel stuff updated for people, and I'm actually playing there a little bit today. First time I've played over there all postseason. The main reason is just getting kind of a different balance of lineups. And you have Strus. He's got tons of utility over on DK and such, but at 5K, he's an even better play somehow, some way on FanDuel. And I'm going to try to be a little bit underweight over on DK. I don't think he's going to shoot it out of the gym the same way that we saw. He's under contract for a while. I could see them actually being light with his minutes compared to what we think. I think that's the other thing to consider. Like, if this game does get wonky quick, there's a pretty good chance of it, obviously, with the spread and such. Like Evan Mobley, Max Strus, Darius Garland, it's going to get dicey. It could get actually dicey, and we could get some real unknowns from the Cavs bench that play more than we think they do. Merrill, I don't think they give a shit. I don't think they give a shit about, Tristan Thompson, things like that. But very curious to see where the ownership lands on these guys. We have a 5K Al Horford. He's in almost everything that I'm looking at here on FanDuel. Max Strus in everything that I'm doing on FanDuel. Derek White on almost everything I'm doing on FanDuel. They're 5K, 5K, and 6K respectively. So I'll let you fill in the gaps from there.
You crushed it. Highest ranked guys I have on FanDuel from Cleveland are Garland, Strus, Okoro, and then flip a coin between Mobley and Merrill, depending on how much salary you need.
Yep.
Luke Stone, with all the value that it's opened up, is it viable to play SGA, Luka, and Tatum together in the same lineup? No.
Yeah, I just was actually toying around with it. What happens is you're getting 38 minutes for the mid-range. Like, that's the huge difference between, like a regular season where you might get some 3K values that show up down there. Like, everybody we're looking at other than Sam Merrill, there is like nowhere. Like, Isaac Okoro's 3,800, I suppose, but we know he's not your fantasy darling. That's to say the very least. We have Peyton Pritchard who can walk into more minutes. We have Lively still at 4,200. We have Tim Hardaway Jr. who can always go heat check, but think about that. Almost everybody I said outside of the Cleveland guys, there's like 18, 20-minute downside to their minutes. And so this mid-range, when you have 5, 6K guys, or, even like 4K guys like Derek Jones Jr. at 4,400, we know that's going to play 30 plus in every competitive spot, 35 probably. You kind of just want to take the minutes of the mid-range and not necessarily stress to get all 3 of the studs there. It's not really warranted.
So even more so, you only have $19,100 left for your final 5 spots. That's an average of $3,800 per roster spot. But think about it like this. Anybody else that builds Luka, SGA, Tatum is building to the exact same players that you are going to be choosing from. You can't get any different at that point in time. There's nothing, you are forcing yourself to every single low dollar value play that everybody's already on. So you're not even necessarily being more unique in that construction, because the final 5 guys that you can put in that lineup can't really differ all that much. You just run out of salary. 2 of those 3, you need to pick the one you don't think is going to be the guy, and you can play the other 2 without any sort of problems. You want to talk about the Cleveland props whenever you hit whatever you're about to hit?
Oh, I was just going to say that Alex Baker back in the day always talked about that. With the 2K salary change, we're about to get into showdown season where we're going to be talking about a lot of showdown stuff. I've been working on my showdown stuff, haven't been playing just because, my evenings are generally pretty jammed with doing other stuff and covering MLB and things of that nature. But I'm working on some showdown stuff and just trying to back test some of these prospective lineups and then not necessarily tracking them as much as I should right now, but I'm going to here. Alex Baker always talked about when you go to some of these cheap options in NBA, which is a far more projectable sport than other spots, you're going to run into duplication on the top end because just those raw points of everybody else is going to have the identical 3 guys, and you've got to find differentiation. Now, Tom's 100K lineup is a great example. His differentiator was Luka Garza in a blowout script and ends up getting in the game and absolutely torching in the 6 minutes he was on the floor in a complete blowout of game 3 or 4 it was for Minnesota. And, you find that 1% guy or that sub 1% guy who can do that. Awesome. You're avoiding a lot of the duplication and you can indie ship like he did. But otherwise, you are so identical top to bottom. There was a train right underneath Tom because I did run one lineup in that main contest that day. And it was 60-something, 70-something lineups where everybody did a 2v2 different combination. And he just flipped it and said, hey, what if the Timberwolves lose by 30 or win by 30 and Garza gets in? And that's basically the difference between 100K. And even if you had shipped it, maybe topping out at $2,000. So we'll talk about a lot of that stuff and, being risky, but being smart about being risky. And at certain times, not necessarily worrying about being risk averse, just to embrace no duplication.
Are you, have you taken a look at our data? Because we did get updates.
I was trying to just talk a lot there and let everything update. And let's see, 11 seconds ago. So I did a great job, if you ask me.
You did 49 seconds ago. That's 2 sexes for me.
Oh God, let me see this here.
Just in case anybody's curious, the highest owned player on the slate now is Darius. Nope, that's FanDuel.
Nope, Sam Merrill.
Sam Merrill, 83%. Darius Garland, 73%. Max Strus, 55. Evan Mobley, 50. Dean Wade, 50. Yes, just in case you're curious, that is 5 Cavs in the top 6 of ownership. They are 2 touchdown underdogs.
Oh my God, I'm gonna take some lineups. I don't know if I want to be playing this as much as what I was planning. I just don't know how to get different in a fun way. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to play more Pick 6 tonight. I was already building out, I build a lot over on Pick 6. It's the best site you can play on right now as people haven't solved a lot of the stuff. If you have that available to you, awesome. Obviously, this is a different show and I don't want to go too far into that because we love Sleeper, but I want to let it be known that seems like a really fun way to do things. Now that we have Strus 12.5 points, Okoro 7.5 points, I'm just looking through some of this and it's yeah, I'm going to build some 6-pick cards. That seems like a fun way to spend my evening.
This is so gross, dude. It's so
gross.
It's
really bad.
I legit don't even know where to put some of these minutes.
What are we going to do when we get to the tournament play section? We're going to be looking at
Oh, now we have sections.
A what?
Oh, now we have segments to the show. You just got done telling I hate segments. Now it's just like I can't wait till we get to
hate
that
segments
GPP
that
segment.
are basically well, the GPP one's fine, but like, I don't know. I have to wear a fucking safari hat and be Joe Exotic petting a Peyton Pritchard tiger because that's entertainment, apparently. Jordan, I knew you were going to do that. I knew you were going to do that. You're a bad person.
Why would you even bring it up?
That's why I don't like segments. Go ahead.
Yeah. I'm looking at the props right now, making sure I have my stuff set. Isaac Okoro is popping more than I would like him to. This is all just, I already know how this goes, and it sucks.
And now I'm tilted because Jordan exists, but it's fine. Yeah.
Because if I play a lot of Darius Garland, he's going to be shit. And if I don't play a lot of Darius Garland, he's going to be great. And
I think I'm just going to get out of
real.
I think you have the power, and also energy. It flows. You know, you clap your hands and a butterfly flaps its wings in Tokyo and causes.
What's your problem with people in Tokyo, man?
Nothing. Absolutely nothing. That's love
not what the tone of your voice translation.
Just said. No, I'm saying that it's the butterfly effect thing.
No, just go with the Ashton Kutcher movie.
It wasn't good.
It wasn't good. I wasn't able to look at Amy Smart for a very long time because she was so ugly in that movie. I wasn't able to like think that she was hot in other stuff because she was just like a crackhead for 30 minutes in the middle of that movie.
She sure
was. Like, oh man, I'm out. I'm out, man.
Yeah, it's an interesting one. Nobody knows what we're talking about. That's right. Eric is a Tokyo phobe. No, I'm not. I love Tokyo. I can't wait to go. I love sushi. It's going to be delicious. And also, I just watched Shogun. Phenomenal. Absolutely love Shogun. I don't know why I'm qualifying everything I'm saying right now. I love Tokyo. Stop it.
No idea. All right, let's talk through Cleveland. Now that we have ownership, we've got Sam Merrill at 80. Call it Darius Garland at 70. Strus at 50. Wade at 50. Mobley at 50. When you look at that ownership right now, do you see a guy that you're naturally going to be lighter on?
Probably Mobley. I don't want to speak out of turn. 7,500. I mean, this could really go poorly if I do that way. I'm just deciding what I want to even do here tonight now. Mobley. Probably Wade. I guess the Wade would probably be the dude at 53%. I like Dean Wade as a basketball player. I went on the whole Dean Wade should, play as many minutes as humanly possible. And I think that's exactly what they've done. I think that's exactly what they're going to do yet again today. He's a great defender, but usage does he not bring? Fantasy scoring does he not bring? It feels a little bit too obvious to me to just be lighter on Dean Wade purely because if everybody wants to go to that $3,500 piece of value and get his boom percentage is 4.66% for a reason. He's not a good fantasy producer.
No.
He should be out on the floor for as many minutes as possible. But like, what is his minutes upside, would you say? Because I'm going to put him in for 24 minutes. I'm looking at places that have him for 30, and that seems really, really hefty to me.
I went 28. Currently he has a points prop of 6.5 with juice to the under. I got him at 5.8 right now. That's an 11.5% usage.
He played 25 last time out. I find it hard to believe he's going to play more than 25. Like that's what I'm getting at, is that's like the tippy top. That was a game that was competitive. This has downside to it, and they're not going to put him out there in 30 minutes if they're down 20 at any point, right?
Here's the question. Does it matter, or is this are you only thinking about this based on his 50% ownership? Because there's nothing else around him. Like Merrill is on an island.
Correct.
Wade is sort of on an island. I'm going to say something. Is George Niang sneaky today?
Yes. Tristan Thompson's probably sneaky too.
Like Niang unowned, flat 3K.
Okoro's unowned right now too, which I don't agree with at 3,800. I would want to play Infinity Okoro.
25%.
Yeah, I want to play more than 25%.
I don't think that Okoro and Dean Wade look different. Let's say
that's what I'm getting at. I guess that's my argument, is that it's not that I'm saying that I'm not looking at 50-something% ownership on Wade, and I'm still running my stuff. So I'm talking a little bit out of my ass, but I have a feeling based on the fact that his boom percentage is sitting at 4.66, target score 21. What do you have for a target score for him?
Okoro?
Wade.
18.
Okay, so that's lighter than me. I think that is probably going to be what strips me getting to Dean Wade at 55% clip.
Yeah. I think I'm going to get more Okoro and less Wade.
That's exactly what I think is going to happen.
So do I. Just as I look at it right now, like, because Wade looks great. But if he's twice as owned as Isaac Okoro, I'm going to have more Isaac Okoro. There's no doubt in my mind.
Fact.
And this is like, I've been very dubious of Isaac Okoro's minutes over this series just because he's such a nothing when he's out there. They're out of bodies. Like, they don't have replacement Isaac Okoros any further back. I think he kind of has to play 30 plus today. Unless it's a 50-point game at half.
Corey Ballmer, Okoro can play 10 minutes or 35. He's still getting 15. No, he could play 25 or he's not, barring injury or insane foul trouble, playing less than 20 minutes today. He's just not. Impossible.
Yeah, I agree. How do you feel about Garland? Points prop is 23.5. We do not have a giant sample. With Mitchell, Allen, and LeVert off, and Garland being able to play with everybody else that's still available, there is not a large sample on the season. Darius Garland has played 132 minutes alongside the rest of these guys. Even if I open that up to just leave those guys off and include other idiots, he's played 166 minutes all season with those guys off the floor, 30% usage rate.
Yep, 30.6%, 181 minutes. No LeVert, no Mitchell, no Allen. You got Marcus Morris Sr., 61 minutes, 25.4% usage. Am I just talking myself into Marcus Morris? Because this is the guy that I keep going back to a little bit here. I love getting to Sam Merrill, and everybody else does too. I think Tristan Thompson is the sneaky guy. Good Lord. Is that what's her face probably called him? Tristan Thompson is probably sneaky, but Marcus Morris, George Niang, I have no idea what I'm going to do with these guys. It feels like no matter what I do, I'm going to be wrong. They're going to either play just a boatload in garbage time, or it's going to actually be a competitive game and you're going to be completely dead in those lineups. But figure that's not so different than even a game like yesterday from Indy and New York. We're out of the middle of nowhere. You had nothing you wanted from the Indy side. Absolutely stone cold nothing. And feels like Cleveland, there's going to be 4 or 5. Like, where would you set the line at number of Cleveland players to be optimal tonight?
Ownership says 3.5.
I think that's where I would set the line with juice to the over.
I would say 3. 3 feels right.
Okay. I think that's light, but I would give you plus money going that direction. I am of the mind, though, just looking at the ownership, it's like I'll take shots on anybody that's low owned in a Cleveland jersey. George Niang, flat 3K, I'll take shots on it. I'll take shots on Tristan Thompson. I'll take shots. 25% of core, I'll go way over.
Everybody.
Be better than the concert you went to the other week.
Pour one out for the T-Pain concert, man. What a depressing event that was. That was sad.
I'm disappointed for you. I wanted that to be great.
Oh,
Eric, face on Chloe, now Jordan, go, go, go. Don't you dare. There's not a world where you would do such a thing, Jordan. You already did it, didn't you? He's sitting in a chair maniacal.
Put your face on what? On who?
On Khloe Kardashian, because I said Tristy Thompson, and I didn't mean to.
Pour one out for OJ, I guess. I mean, that's her dad, right?
Sure is. I will say, shout out Kim Kardashian for like going into the lion's den. She had to know that wasn't going to go well for her. I at least have props for her for going to the roast.
I stand by Schultz's description that she has a robot that she can send to these things that has all of her mannerisms.
She's got that level of FU money.
I mean, yeah, she definitely does.
Definitely does. Yeah, she definitely does.
For sure does. Well, I don't have anything else really now to say about Cleveland. Have you run anything yet?
Yeah, I just did.
Okay. Anything jumping out to you?
I have 100% Sam Merrill. I have 88% Darius Garland. I have 84% Max Strus, even on DK right now, which feels as though I'm going to find something around that. I have 70% Evan Mobley. I have 30% Dean Wade, so we're dropping down. And then I only have 30% Isaac Okoro, but I think I can give myself a little bit more of that, especially considering I'm light to Dean Wade. So those are the hits so far. I have 12% Tristan Thompson. I have, where's my next Cleveland guy? That looks like everything.
I'm afraid to run my lineups.
They aren't going to look good. I'm just going to let you know that whatever you anticipated from doing the show this morning, it's going to look different.
Huh.
It's going to look a little bit like a little Stanley Kubrick film.
Never saw one, I don't think.
What? Clockwork Orange? That has to be your next one.
No. What year did that come out? I have no doubt in my mind it is garbage now.
1971.
Yeah. So the same year, basically.
So good. It's so good.
Couldn't want to watch it any less.
Oh my God. Why do you hate me so much?
Dude, it
I
came
don't
out
understand.
25
It's so good.
No, not 25. 20,
Oh my God.
50 years ago?
Malcolm McDowell is so unbelievable. Like, that whole movie is unbelievable.
I'm good.
God.
I'm good. Old shit sucks, man. I'm on that
the old shit does not suck.
Name one good old thing.
About? Jurassic Park is old. It's like early 90s.
Yeah.
Let's go even
like
older.
even then.
Obviously, Godfather
like
2. You haven't seen it yet, so you don't know shit. Clockwork Orange is an experience. It sure is. Also, Close Encounters of the Third Kind. Phenomenal. Casablanca, if you're in, it depends if you want to get later or not that night.
What are you talking about? Nobody's watching that garbage now.
One of the best Christmas movies, too. It's a Beautiful Life. If you don't like It's a Beautiful Life, I really don't want to be friends with you.
Couldn't even imagine taking the time out of my day to watch that garbage around Christmas. All the choices.
Christmas Eve, put on It's a Beautiful Life and tell me that you don't get the little feelings down in your tumbly where you feel a little something, something. You're going to feel something, you absolute snowman.
You should try feeling the right name of that movie. Dope. It's a Beautiful Life.
It's a Wonderful Life. That's what I meant. It's a Wonderful Life. It's so good. It's a Wonderful Life.
It's a Spectacular Life. They got a different guy in there, though. They had to remake it.
Well, to be fair, it's like an alternate path movie where, he sees what would happen if he actually had followed through with, or if he had never been born. And then guardian angel walks him through the whole thing.
Another street. I'm on a street. No, that's probably Miracle on 34th Street, isn't it? I don't know the difference between those movies. They both suck. Just watch good Christmas movies. You would rather watch that trash on Christmas Eve instead of Bad Santa? You're out of your mind.
I love Bad Santa.
Try being
Bad
entertained
Santa 2,
once.
Home Alone 2. I think they're all pretty fantastic too. But
no.
You doing golf today? I sure am doing golf today. 11 p.m. Eastern time, 8 p.m. Pacific time, talking really good stuff. Anyway,
speaking of, Olrat, Eric, this is a super chat. Who are a couple guys you're overweight to in golf?
I will tell you all of that right now. Rory McIlroy, I have an ungodly amount. I'm such a chalk donkey, but I kind of don't care. I have no idea the narrative-based thing. We have Scotty Scheffler having a baby. We have Rory getting divorced. I really don't care about any of it. It is going to be wild to me. Benny On, overweight. Sepp Straka, overweight. Who else do I have? Jason Day, overweight.
I almost didn't notice it. Wait, is he the baby too? Or does the baby just look like that?
No, the baby just looks like him. He just kinda looks like
okay.
Eric.
I thought that you did a really bad face swap on the baby, but I think the baby needs it. Oh, what a beautiful blonde. Gorgeous. Gorgeous. That's so gorgeous. Maybe Rory's gal version with Eric and Caitlin Clark's gal version of Eric can both get together as a couple moving forward. That would probably be good for everybody, right? Uh-oh, Melissa's mad at me. She spent $10 to yell at me.
Yes, Melissa Harvey, and totally redeem yourself. Well, she doesn't need to redeem herself, but
No, she doesn't.
Redeeming my mood right there. $10. I will read it. Melissa Harvey, $10. I'm willing to spend my hard-earned money to say how incredibly disappointed I am in Josh for dissing It's a Wonderful Life. Best movie ever.
Said beautiful
and
while
anyone
you read
who
it.
doesn't like it is a total ass. That is what you are, sir. Good day. I said good day, sir. That is Willy Wonka, for what it's worth. Also a great movie, Willy Wonka. It's better than the Johnny Depp version. It's
a terrible movie.
No, it's not. Veruca Soul. But Daddy, I wanted to know. It's fantastic. Stop it. It's a musical.
They should have stabbed that grandfather in the first 5 seconds for not getting off of his ass so they don't have to eat cabbage soup every day. The moment he can go to the chocolate store, he's like, oh, everything's fine. I'm dancing jigs. Dude, get up before that and provide for the family. 4 of you sleep in the exact same bed. You eat and drink dirty water 24/7. The kid found a nickel on the street and saved your life. Do something else. Do something else. And what kind is the other grandfather just a total piece of shit too, and he just didn't get to go? Or is he actually supposed to be in the bed? I have no idea. This is turning into one of my favorite, most unhinged live before locks. Hit the like button, everybody. Do not call me Erica McElroy. I swear upon all that is good and righteous, I will leave this show. I said good day, sir. That is definitely
Jordan.
not a
Jordan, it is not the funniest thing you've ever read. It is not funny.
That's not a threat, by the way. You leaving the show is not going to make anybody be mad. We gotta hit tiers quickly for Olrat before we get yelled at.
Let's do it.
And I'm hoping that whatever lineups I'm about to create are going to be the ones that I can play. Luka, SGA, Tatum. Luka. But it's close.
Yeah, it's much closer than you would think.
Kyrie, Jaylen Brown, Evan Mobley, Jalen Williams.
It is it seriously Evan Mobley now? It is Evan Mobley.
I have it as Jaylen Brown, but I have all 4 guys separated by 1 fantasy point. So
wild.
Before I get to tier 3, I just want to upload my current dummy lineups just so that my mind can feel a little bit better, because in this moment, I just feel like I'm not going to do this. And if I don't just paste in the 50 that I have right now, I'm going to just have a panic attack for the rest of this.
I withdrew a lot of lineups, so now I'm going to be rolling out 1, which makes me feel better, and I'm going to play a ton of pick 6.
There you go.
That's what I did.
All right, upload.
Erica, pretty hot. All right, I'll take it. Now I'm okay with it.
All right, I got my dummy lineups in, so we can move forward there. Tier 3, Chet, Garland, White, and PJ
Garland by
Washington.
a lot. Garland by a lot.
It is. Tier 4, Drew Holiday, Daniel Gafford, Max Strus, Al Horford, Lou Dort. That's Drew for me.
I have Max Strus.
Giddey, Lively, Pritchard, Okoro, Jones, Cornette, and Wiggins. It's going to be Lively for me.
It is nope, Derek Lively for me too. 3 fantasy points apart.
Tim Hardaway Jr., Josh Green, Sam Hauser, Isaiah Joe, Cason Wallace, Dean Wade, Sam Merrill, Jalen Williams, the other one.
Sam Merrill a lot.
Sam Merrill, yes. Dean Wade, very close. What do you have right now? Let's just talk that through. Actually, hold on. Before we do that,
do the thing.
Yep. One thing to hit on. Boop. The promo code is major. We had it up on the screen earlier, and I didn't hit on it during the golf question, but I got to mention
that's a major screw up.
Sorry, the promo code is, first of all, that screw up is not mine. That screw up is major in our sheet. The promo code is Birdie, 30% off on any monthly PGA DFS package. That screw up is courtesy of Greg Ehrenberg. Just putting that out there right now. He's not here, so he can defend himself.
Promo code's major.
Well, then it says Birdie.
Yeah,
well, one of those 2 things are wrong, and it's not my fault. That
is major. Major.
So I would have got that right if he just shut up.
Correct.
Fucking
Absolutely
ridiculous.
correct. Jordan Klein ruining everything in everybody's life today.
Guys,
Especially.
sign up for our golf product. It's better than my read, that's for sure. 30% off to get a monthly PGA DFS package. We have PGA Sims. I assume you'll see Tom Kennedy and DeColts on the top of those coming up in this week. Eric and I will be just left shaking our cups on the end of the street. The promo code is major no matter what anybody else tells you. You get 30% off. It's a fantastic deal. You see it on the screen. Even Brooks Koepka likes it. Who doesn't like Brooks besides Bryson? And probably a lot of other people.
Anyone.
But anyway, the promo code is major no matter what our internal documentation says.
I like today now. This is funny.
It's both promo codes are in the ad read 3 right now.
It's not ideal.
And if you would have just shut up, I never would have known.
Wasn't me. In the corner. Wasn't me.
Calm down, Shaggy. All right, what do you have? We have 9 minutes.
Well, I was able to get out some of these lineups here, so I'm just going to 20.
Yeah.
And well, I mean, everything I did it a while ago. I'm just trying to finish up my stuff here. So it's increments of 5 now. My top 20 lineups here. I have all of the Garland. I have all of the Okoro. I have all of the Tatum, which is fascinating to see here at the moment. My top 20. And getting to all the SGA, I really don't have Luka in the 20. More of a product. If I were making 150 or if I were even making my normal 40 or 50, I would have some Luka here. But it is appearing that, and Sam Merrill nearly at everything. Not 100% though anymore, which is nice. Getting to a little bit more Dean Wade than I had before, getting right around 40-ish%. So that's cool by me. And then Evan Mobley, I'm not at 50. I mean, I'm sitting there at 20. So I'm just going to roll with it here. Evan Mobley, I'm light on. Go ahead.
We are talking about largely the same things. This isn't working for me, which means I have that column wrong in my sheet.
Holy sheet.
I do have that column wrong in my sheet. That is going to be a quick correction here. I'm just making my final adjustments.
Right.
But I'm light on Garland. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I'm light on Garland and I'm light on Mobley right now. I don't totally hate that. Like the value plays in my mind have a better chance of getting there. Those guys are going to play similar minutes. I don't know if Garland and Mobley get to 40 because maybe this game is just a death sentence for everybody else and it doesn't work out the way that everybody wants it to. I don't know. But
I think everybody
right now,
just wants to know what you're doing.
40% Garland, 20% Mobley as of right now. I'm going to bump those guys up a little bit if I end up finishing off this formula in time.
You got 8 minutes. You'll be fine. FanDuel from Darren Unger. FanDuel, Horford, Wiggins, SGA, Brown, Williams, Lively. I am the one playing a little bit of FanDuel, so let me throw this in for him. That is going to be the Horford, Wiggins, SGA side of things on that. Ever so slightly. Bryce,
we didn't even really get a chance to talk about how to handle Wiggins, but there's no.
I think he starts, but the main thing is that you're not kind of like unleashing this incredible value. Josh Giddey, there's a chance he still enters the game. I think it matters more from a betting perspective on if you get unders that you might have taken on Mr. Giddey, if you get them voided or not, whether he makes an appearance for a minute, which I think is
he's not gonna not play.
That's what I'm thinking. So it's kind of hard to say, like Giddey, I already had him just at like 12 minutes. So I'm not going to go crazy changing Wiggins to some insane way. I took him from, 15 minutes, put him around 21, 22. I still put Giddey at 10. And then Cason Wallace sitting at 18, Isaiah Joe at 17. Like for me, it's just still largely the same thing, which is weird to say other than, a couple more minutes just for Wiggins.
I'm making my final tweaks right now. I ended up with a bunch of Okoro.
Good man.
At 50%.
Because when you can jam a terrible fantasy producer who's out there only for defensive purposes, you just got to do it.
Probably have too much Drew Holiday right now, but
that's not going to change in the next however many minutes.
No, it's not really. It's not really. I don't have any Aaron Wiggins in this moment, and I don't have enough in my sample to make him matter, but That's
He's
also
expensive relative to some of the cheapies there. That's the other part of it. Like I thought getting 6.5, like I have a play 6.5 and 2.5 rebounds, a number of different spots. It's moved to 7.5 and 3 most spots there, as you know, news came out that he ended up having the starter's jersey on. People are getting on that play a little bit more here. There's some alternate numbers. I think 10 plus was like 150 or 250 over on FanDuel still. So take a look over there. If you're just trying to combine and think that Aaron Wiggins walks into 25 minutes, sweet. It's hard for me to say Giddey doesn't play, although
yeah,
it's live. I think it's a low range of outcome thing. I think he still will appear to some extent.
all right. I'm getting my lineups in now. All my tweaks are as good as they're going to be. Would have liked to run that again, but ship has sailed. So my biggest stands, get ready, everybody. Time to find out who you don't want and who you do want. My 4 biggest stands. I have 4 guys where I have more than 20% of the field. Isaac Okoro, Jason Tatum, PJ Washington, Drew Holiday. 4 fades, same scenario, negative 20% or more. Evan Mobley, Darius Garland, Luka Doncic, Derek Lively. They don't feel as good.
No, they definitely do not. Did somebody just ask, what's your favorite utility spot play? That makes no sense.
Whomever. Somebody in the late game.
That is generally what it would be, but unless you're going to go double center from the early one. But I've never seen that question before, and it just hurt my brain.
Yeah. Most exposed players. 90% Sam Merrill, 74% Jason Tatum, and then 50%-ish of Strus, Holmgren, SGA, Drew Holiday, Darius Garland. Can handle that.
That's chill.
I have 28% of Peyton Pritchard. That seems fine. 38% of Lou Dort. That seems fine. I really don't mind that the amount of Okoro I have. I think he's underrepresented. I feel pretty good here.
I'm feeling better.
The dupes today are insane. Actually, we have 3 minutes.
My concern.
I am going to be a little bit more pessimistic with dupes and cut some more lineups out here.
It's not a terrible idea. I'm going to not do that, but I'm going to finish out some stuff.
Your camera is
another
off.
site. Is it really? Yeah, that's cool.
I would never joke about that.
Yeah, it's just so funny. We're just so funny today.
What's your minutes projection for Wiggins? That's more of a you question.
22.
There we go. All right. Did what I just do change anything dramatically? No. Why not? Because
still got 3 minutes. Devon Maya, thank you for the $2 super chat. Appreciate you. Saw those super chats. Darren Unger, let me just take a look here. Anything else? Luke Cornett blowout run? I really hope not. Cornett, what percentage? Won't be playing him.
I need you to talk for the next 2 minutes.
Yep, I got it for you here. Seems so gross. Aaron Wiggins or Josh Green? So the Josh Green piece is kind of strange because we've seen some different minutes, some different lineups here. It is really hard to play Josh Green in any way, shape, or form. So I don't know how that's a question because they're in different salary tiers, but Aaron Wiggins is definitely the priority for me on DK if it's FanDuel. Sean Geezy, I missed your super chat. Let me pull it up here for you. Sean Geezy, $5. Appreciate you. Who closes for Cleveland in a 30-point blowout? Serious question. Definitely a good thing to be thinking about. Sam Merrill, definitely a part of that. Tristan Thompson, probably a part of that. I think you still have Okoro, and that's where I think the minutes for Okoro just feel much more certain than Garland, Strus, Mobley for me. Wade, I think, is at like the tippy top range. If you go 29, 30, like Josh did, if you go 26, 27, I ended up a little bit higher on the Dean Wade minutes when it was all said and done there. Don't think it gets crazy there, but George Niang probably a part of that too. So I will go with Okoro, Merrill, Thompson, Morris, Niang. I think that makes some sense. I doubt they have to dust anybody else off. Let's see. Anybody?
I appreciate you, by the way.
Oh, I appreciate you. It's super easy. Top 4 picks for Dallas. Luka, Kyrie seem like they have upside, but the Kyrie piece is an interesting one today. We didn't talk about it a whole lot. It feels so hard to talk about those, though, in a vacuum where it's 80, 200, and now we have a ton of guard spots that are Garland, Merrill, Strus, shooting guard, small forward. It just kind of cannibalizes a lot of your lineups where it's harder to say, oh, I need to play 15% Kyrie Irving because he's low owned. Yeah, he's got a higher chance of being optimal. If you have a feel or a stance there, that's not a big deal. Let's see what else we have. Chet, Jalen Williams, Tatum Lively. For me, that is going to be Chet, Jalen. I don't know. Tatum Lively is pretty interesting there too. Player compare tool for 2v2s. It is free at stokastic.com.
And this show is over, by the way. NBA Live Before Lock in the books. Playback is coming up next. Playback.tv/stokastic. Come watch the first half of Cleveland and Boston with us. And maybe you're lucky enough to be one of our 40 VIPs so you could actually see the stream along with us. Or if you have International League Pass, you'll actually just get it. So join us now. Thank you guys for being here. Hectic show and probably the final hour-long 2-game slate that we are going to have for the season. It's been swell, guys. But we're going to be going to showdowns. It's barring any craziness. We're going to be going to showdowns shortly. Going to be fun. Thank you guys for being here. We'll talk to you later. We're on playback right now. I had a column pasted over with just numbers, and it wasn't. It didn't.
I'm glad to help.
Matter,
super easy,
but it wasn't cutting out